There's a saying in England, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Bond. James.
James Bond.
Have you ever wondered which James Bond one-liners are the best and which ones are the worst? Today, we're diving deep into the world of 007 to rank every iconic one-liner from worst to best. Stay tuned. James Bond, the quintessential spy, isn't just known for his gadgets, cars, and suave demeanor. One of the most memorable aspects of the franchise is Bond's witty and sharp one-liners. From Sean Connery to Daniel Craig, each Bond has delivered lines that have left audiences cheering, laughing, or sometimes cringing. These one-liners are an integral part of Bond's character, adding to the charm and legacy of the series. But which lines stand out as the best, and which fall flat? Let's find out. We'll start with worst one-liners.
The lost hand nearly killed me. The lost hand nearly killed me.
One of the tensest scenes in Casino Royale is when Bond is poisoned by the villain, Le Chiffre, and must race to counteract the poison's effects before time runs out. After narrowly escaping death thanks to the help of Vesper Lynd, Bond returns to the card game he had to leave after being poisoned, delivering this humorously dry line. It's the kind of pitch-perfect Bond quote that sold audiences on Daniel Craig as a long-lasting 007. However, some might think it's a bit too casual given the life-threatening situation he was just in.
What a helpful chap. What a helpful chap.
Though Moore's Bond was the most playful, that doesn't mean he didn't channel 007's cold-blooded side as well. One such moment comes in The Spy Who Loved Me, when Bond fights Sandor on a rooftop. After a long fight, they end up by the edge, and the man nearly falls off a roof, saved only by managing to grab Bond's necktie. As the man hangs over the edge, Bond asks him where Aziz Fekesh is. Believing Bond will save him if he tells the truth, he quickly says he is at the pyramids. However, once he gets the information, Bond pulls away his tie, causing Sandor to fall to his death. After this, James Bond looks at the dead body on the ground and delivers this stone-cold one-liner. The fact that Bond makes a joke about the dead man who offered him information shows how little remorse he has for taking out villains. Roger Moore's James Bond was funny at times, but he killed with no remorse.
I think he got the point. I think he got the point.
Bond is famously not above cracking a joke after killing someone. One example of this comes in the 1965 film Thunderball, featuring Sean Connery. In the movie, 007 is sitting on a beach with Domino as one of the henchmen of the main villain, Largo, quietly sneaks behind them. After Domino spots him, she alerts Bond, who quickly turns around and shoots the henchman with a spear gun. It's one of Bond's most brutal kills, yet produces one of his funniest lines. This is also something that became a trait of James Bond movies over the years. He not only has no problem killing people without remorse, but he also finds humor in it by making these quippy James Bond quotes. He is as much of a killer as any villain in the series, but he shows a lot more humor when he ends their lives. This was just quick thinking to deliver the snappy one-liner as the villain falls in defeat. Now moving to the best one-liners.
Bond. James Bond. Bond. James Bond. Bond.
One of the most iconic James Bond lines came from his very first scene on the big screen back in 1962. Out of all the James Bond quotes out there, Bond, James Bond, has to be without a doubt the most well-known. When Bond is introduced, he is sitting at a casino table playing baccarat. When his opponent, Sylvia Trench, says that she admires his luck and asks him his name, Bond replies by simply saying, Bond. James Bond. The line has been repeated in several of the 007 movies, but there is a certain magic to Connery's first delivery of the words. Since its first use, several other films have taken inspiration from the catchphrase, showing how iconic it has become over the years. The best part of the phrase is how easily it is for 007 to drop into a conversation or moment, whether he is introducing himself, involved in a high-octane action sequence, or even during a romantic moment. It is the most crowd-pleasing of the James Bond quotes.
Someone you'll watch. Some really blew their mind.
Daniel Craig's 007 didn't deliver a huge number of playful puns during the heat of battle compared to some other Bonds, but he did have quite a few good ones, and his last one is arguably his best. It's established earlier in No Time to Die that Bond's new watch has been designed by Q to emit an EMP. So when Bond uses it in a fight with the henchman Primo, it causes Primo's bionic eye to spark and explode, killing him. Bond then uses this pun to update Q about his status, showing that he still had some classic 007 spirit left in him. Much like Roger Moore before him, Daniel Craig's James Bond had no sympathy for the villains that he killed and didn't mind mocking them after he finished them off. At least in this case, Bond didn't make the joke at the dead body after the fight and just waited to be snarky when he was talking to Q later after the death happened.
All have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet. All have our...
There have been rare times when a woman has become truly important to Bond, and it always ends up being a challenge. Such was the case with Madeline Swan, who Bond went off into the sunset with at the end of Spectre. However, their happy ending doesn't last long, and Bond's trust issues once again become a problem. After Blofeld leaves, he suggests to 007 that Madeline is hiding something. He doesn't even question what his enemy's motivations might be and chooses to believe that she has betrayed him. It shows a severely flawed side of Bond that adds to his layered characterization in the later movies. When she asks why he would ever doubt her, he delivers this line, and it is what really helped tear them apart because he wasn't willing to trust her. While Roger Moore's Bond thought it was fun to go into battle with someone he doesn't trust, Craig's Bond won't consider trusting someone if he smells any smoke. There we have it. In summary, James Bond's one-liners are a testament to the character's enduring appeal. While some lines have missed the mark, others have become legendary. Whether you love or hate them, there's no denying their impact on the series. We've highlighted some of the best and worst, but there are so many more that could be discussed. Now it's your turn. Share your favorite and least favorite James Bond one-liners in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie-related content. See you next time.